Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome to another great product spotlight video brought to you by Mount Baker Vapor. And today we are going to take a close look at a brand new product from Aspire. So if you've been jonesing for some new hardware from Aspire, then we've got something special for you today. What are we talking about? You might be wondering. We are talking about the Aspire Puxos Kit. So we got a nice little box mod in here. Brand new tank from Aspire, an update on the Clito. We're gonna take a closer look at that, and we're just gonna see what this guy in general is all about. Got my own personal little mod right here. They all have kind of like these strange patterns on them. Nice little design, yeah, that's what it looks like. Let's go ahead and unbox this guy and see what's inside. All right, so here's our up close look at the Aspire Puxos Kit, and the version we have here is labeled as swirls, as P3. So the way they have labeled some of these are, I believe, part of the first run of this product, were labeled like P1, P2, P3, P4, and I believe there's P5. This one is one of those initial run, but then they're supposed to have some standard ones as well. I believe those are just the mod by themselves, and they're just flat colors. Like I believe there's black and blue, and you know, just straight standard colors if you're interested in just the mod by itself. So we've got the Puxos mod inside the Clito Pro tank. You get 2 coils in there, one pre-installed in the tank, a 0.5 ohm coil, and additional 0.5 ohm coils. These are not the same coils that you are using with your Clito or your Clito 120. These are coils, the Clito Pro coils, that have been designed for the Clito Pro tank. You get 6 O-rings, a USB cable. It comes with the a battery adapter. It comes with the 21700 battery, and then, you know, your standard paperwork and stuff like that. So you get a full kit here. You know, you're getting a box, you're getting a kit, you even get the battery, because I think Aspire understands that you know, a lot of people don't have that size battery, and they want you to be able to use this product right out of the box. So let's go ahead and unbox this guy. Pretty standard little sleeve. Got our nice little picture there on the front. Our black box, clearly labeled Aspire here, obviously. And I do like the design of these. So they do have these really cool patterns. I'm not a huge fan of the way these panels feel. To me, they just feel a little plasticky. But it's a nice accent. They are interchangeable. You can kind of lock it on. You'll see there's little hooks here, and you kind of slide the panel on there and then snap it into place. Got the little notch at the bottom to lift the panel off. Inside we've got our 18650 battery adapter. So if you want to use your 18650 battery, you can. You can also use a 21700 battery and a 2700 battery on this. So yeah, we've got the little battery adapter in there. Nice little orange battery adapter. Clearly labeled panels. Cool designs. Just not the best filling device. Both panels come off. Like I said, they're interchangeable. These are more for looks than anything. Mod itself is really light. Feels a little bit plasticky to me. I'm not sure how durable these are going to be, so if you're going to be taking these outside, probably not, compared to like something like the Aegis Legend, which is practically indestructible. I wouldn't believe this is going to be the case, but it has a good feel in your hand. You know, a lot of people out there really just they don't need to run high wattages all day long, and they don't need all that battery life, so single battery does them just fine. So if you're looking for a nice little single battery device where you can use, you know, your preferred battery size, definitely got you covered here. Now with the 18650 battery, this mod will only run up to 100 watts. With the 2700 and 21700 batteries, it'll run up to 100 watts. With the 18650, it'll run up to 80 watts. Not sure if I said that correctly the first time. So 80 watts with the 18650. Other batteries, 100 watts. Now I think what everyone's going to be most excited about in this kit is the update of the Clito tank. So what we have here in my hand is the Clito Pro tank. Now this is a 3 mil tank. I didn't find anything that said different. So it comes with an additional glass, a bubble style glass, and it comes with a straight glass. But I don't think that this really changes much. I think maybe this holds 4, but this tank standard capacity is 3 with the straight glass, and this bubble glass doesn't look a whole lot bigger. So I'd have to assume 3, and I didn't see anything else to label it anything else. So on the bottom here we got Clito Pro, and we do got our standard 510 connection there. That's not adjustable. And we've got our airflow slots down here on the bottom. Triple adjustable airflow on the bottom. Fill system on this is a little bit different. I was really hoping for maybe like a sliding top fill. I've never really been a fan of the way that Clito tanks. I guess it's kind of standard nowadays. It just didn't like the way that the whole top just screwed off and you kind of just filled on the old Clito tank. And that was really the best way to do it. What they've got here is something a little different. So there's this ring here, the ring that's labeled Aspire. And what you're going to want to do, if you can get it off, is just pull this ring up and off, which I'm having a little bit of trouble doing, so yeah. Well, not having very good luck with that one. That's a shame. We'll do it with my tank here. See, it just pops right off. Now that's how it's supposed to work. And there'll be an open slot here where you can fill your juice. I just feel like that could have been done better. I mean, it's not very convenient. Now I've got pieces floating around when I want to fill my tank. I'd rather just slide it open with the thumb. I'd rather even just screw the top off, but this ring, it doesn't fill. It sits into place really well, so. Now I'm having trouble getting it back on. There we go. So you just really got to press down on it. So my ring comes off pretty easy. This one did not. And I mean, it sits on there fine enough. When I was thinking about the Clito tank being updated, it's definitely not what I had in mind. The drip tip, let's take a look at the drip tip. So this is going to be the standard drip tip. And there's threads inside of the drip tip, which is plastic. So those threads connect to the coil, and we'll take a look at the coil. The coil goes all the way through. So it's just like the other tank. The other Clito tank. There's no chimney. It's all coil. Those threads screw into the middle of this plastic drip tip, which, you know, they seem like they work pretty well right now. My experience with plastic drip tips in the past has been that they will strip. They're very easy to strip, and then, you know, what do? The ring here that comes over the top, make sure it's right side up. There we go. Doesn't really do much to hold it on. We'll take a closer look at that soon. Another close-up. So we got the Clito Pro tank, went over the fill. Sits on there nice. I really do like the whole aesthetic of this. Like I said, the designs and the patterns on these panels, they're pretty nice. Don't really have any overhang there. It's got a nice form factor to it as well. Also got an instruction manual in there. O-rings. And, you know, warranty cards, battery safety cards. Then here is the Aspire 4000 mAh, and this is a 21700 battery. You do get that. You get a USB cable as well. And here is the Clito Pro coil. And you know, I don't really know what to say about the coil. It's pretty standard. We got a a large Canthal coil in there, really long Canthal coil. A lot of cotton in there as well. I do have to say that I enjoyed this coil more than I did enjoy the Clito coil. The Clito coil, in my opinion, was too cottony. It really took a long time to break in, and I kind of feel like, you know, this is definitely an improvement upon that. Just a large coil, and I'm not sure why. And then we've got the threads there. So this whole coil is pretty much going to operate as the coil and the chimney for the device, so those will screw into the drip tip. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at the menu functions here. Coil inside the Clito Pro coil is rated at 0.5 ohms, and it's going to be best 60 to 80 watts. And I've got mine set at 75 watts right now. That's where I feel comfortable running that coil. In the past, my experience with Clito coils was that if you run them at max wattage, they burn out really quick. So 75 seems good, and I'm getting pretty decent vapor production there. You can lock this device if you click it 5 times. Locked. Click another 5 times. Unlocks. And there's that little locking symbol down there. And if you hold the minus up, it'll lock it as well. A lot of you are going to probably get this. Pretty standard operation. When you put batteries in, it's going to automatically turn on. So if you have there'll be a menu that you come across that'll ask you if it's an 18650 or a 21700. So if you have the 18650, select 18650. If you have 21700 or 2700, you're going to select the 21700 option. What's going to be a little tricky is turning the device off. So if I click this 5 times, one would think the device would go off, but instead it locks. So if you click it 3 times, your device should turn off. And that does not seem to be the case at the moment. Well, it's in stealth mode, so once it's unlocked, if you click it 3 times, it'll go into stealth mode. 3 clicks to bring it back out. But I can't seem to get it to turn off. But it does turn off. The instruction book says it turns off, but yeah, that doesn't seem to be the case right now. It also has several settings here that you can change, so you can adjust your mode. You can go, if you click the minus or the plus button and the fire button, it'll highlight wattage, and then you can cycle through those to change the power adjustments between soft, normal, and hard, which will be indicated by the N, the S, or the H. And then hit the fire button to change it to that mode. Now if you long press the fire button and the plus button, highlights the wattage. We can change to voltage mode. There's a power curve mode that you can go to, Fahrenheit, temperature setting, temp control. You can change between the materials. I believe it's nickel, titanium, stainless steel. TCR mode, memory settings, and back to wattage. So wattage is where we're going to live. So fairly easy to navigate, very straightforward menu, nothing too fancy here, and I do like that. The scrolling through the screen, I've noticed, has been a little tedious because it moves in 0.1 increments. So a lot of times with these devices, you'll be able to hold it, and as you move through your wattage up and down, or temperature up and down, it'll go from 0.1 to full unit increments, and it moves quickly after that. But this seems to keep a very steady pace, and it moves into 0.1 increments. Minor con, but it is a con, and just definitely not for me. So yeah, Aspire Puxos Kit there, got it all put together. Very straightforward. So, you know, maybe if you're just looking to get into a single battery starter kit, you want a nice tank, you want a box to run it on, you want something that's going to accommodate different battery sizes, and just kind of, you know, dipping a toe into that water and seeing what box mods are all about. Might want to take a look at this. Got it all set up there. We got some of our extreme ice inside. Let's go ahead and head back up. We'll vape on it and talk about it and see what this guy's all about. All right, so we got the Aspire Puxos Kit, the Puxos mod, the Clito Pro tank, which is an update of the original Clito tank. Got that set at 75 watts. Coil inside is rated for 60 to 80 watts. Now, here's my issue with that, is that you're running this on an 18650 battery, and you want to run this at max wattage allowed, which is 80 watts. With an 18650 battery and the coil is rated from 60 to 80 watts, and you run that at 80 watts, battery's really not going to last you very long. Haven't tested it out yet, but I can't imagine you can get more than 4 hours out of it. I've noticed that I've been getting pretty good battery life with this 21700 battery I've been using inside, and I'm about halfway, and I've only been using this thing a couple of hours since I charged that battery. So also kind of a con there. Not really sure why a 0.5 ohm coil would be rated at 60 to 80 watts for best for performance, and then you would pair that tank up with this device. Now maybe I'm missing something. Maybe your experience will be different, but personally this just really isn't for me. But it's for somebody. I can't imagine that Aspire would go to the time and trouble to develop this device without there being a market for it. Like I said, pros. It's compact, and it has customizable options on it, so you customize these panels. Something happens to it, you know, I'm not going to be terribly heartbroken about it. So, I mean, there's that too. I don't want to think of it as disposable, but, you know, you just want something, you know, to puff on. Nice little single battery mod. I think that's where it's at. The thing I was most excited about was the Clito Pro tank, which is nice. Go ahead and take a few hits on it, see what this thing's like. So, Pro. Flavor on this thing is great. I really like the flavor. Just very, very clean flavor. The vapor production I'm getting out of here, with the airflow all the way open. And you got to remember, we changed the wattage power mode to hard. So normal, soft, normal, hard. I had it at normal, and I really like it in hard much better. So all the way open, a little bit airy, but the flavor is good. No real resistance on the airflow, so I'm not getting any, I don't have that feeling that I'm kind of pulling through something a little bit, which in my opinion is always giving me better flavor and vapor production. I'm not really a fan of that wide open airflow, but if you really love airflow, this tank is definitely going to be where it's at for you. You get a lot of airflow and a lot of good flavor, a little whistly for my taste. But yeah, definitely great flavor. So these coils were built really well, really, really good flavor. As with the Clito tank, the Clito Pro coils, just like the Clito coils, they seem to get a little bit oversaturated. I noticed you do get a little spit back, so if you've let this sit for a while, when you go to take a puff, just fire it. That way it doesn't pop in your mouth. I was getting a little bit of popping, a little bit of spit back. But if you're consistently using it, like you said, nice, clean flavor. Con is the mouthpiece. This is the only drip tip that you can use. It's got threads in it that connect to the coil, and you can kind of see the shape of it. It's got this weird, almost lip here, and then widens out at the base. It feels a little strange to put your mouth on. It's not as comfortable as I would like it to be, and it's plastic. That's a con. The juice fill system on this interesting. It's an interesting design. It's an improvement over the original Clito tank, but is it up to par with some of the other things out there? In my opinion, not so much, but it's definitely something different. Airflow right now, we're running at 75 watts. Got about halfway open now. Not so whistly there. Running it with in the hard power mode at about halfway open. I do enjoy the flavor and the vapor production that I'm getting out of this tank. It is definitely good. And the box itself, you know, it's comfortable to hold. I know that I can be hard on these devices, and I don't feel like this thing's gonna take beating. I almost feel like I'm gonna crack it. There's a little bit of wiggle on the panels. You can charge it through the USB port here. And it does say a maximum of a 2 amp charge. So I don't know if that means it charges at 2 amps or you can charge it. I would assume that it's got a 2 amp charge into it because I can't imagine how you're going to adjust for that charge rate. So let's call it a 2 amp charge. Who's this for? Unfortunately, as much as I want to love this, it's not for me. I think this is for the person who is just looking for a starter kit that encompasses everything. So you want a battery, you want a USB cable, you want extra glass, you want the O-rings, which are all pretty standard, except for the battery. But you get the tank and the box mod, and it's not something that's overwhelming. This is kind of like your starter kit, if you will. We sell them. You can buy it at Mount Baker Vapor, mtbakervapor.com. If anything, this video has kind of captured your attention and, you know, got that curiosity and you riled up and you just want to see what the Clito Pro tank's about, you can put this on another mod if you want. Maybe you like those interchangeable panels, but you go check it out. Go check it out, see what it's all about. I mean, let me know what you think. I'd be curious to know what other people think about this. So be sure to leave some comments down below, you know, maybe on our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. You know, hit us up on social media. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know maybe some things that you'd like to see. At the end of the day, this is all about us bringing information to you, but you know, it works both ways. And show me some love. You know, hit the subscribe button down there at the bottom, and do my best to keep bringing you some cool stuff. Thanks for joining us. Also, Extreme Ice. I've been digging this lately. Extreme Ice, for those of you that don't know, is a really good flavor. So this is targeted not towards necessarily menthol users. It sounds extreme. You know, it's got a mint, spearmint, and some menthol, and one other thing in there. But it's a nice, cooling sort of flavor. So yeah, check Extreme Ice out too. Check out the videos that are sure to be coming your way. I know we're going to be doing more of these things. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks.